What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be learning how to do the Riffle Shuffle like a pro. I'm going to start by teaching the Riffle Shuffle on the table, which looks like this. And we just simply push them in. And then we're going to work our way up to the in the hands Riffle Shuffle. And I'm also going to teach you guys the bridge, which looks like that. Let's first start by learning the Riffle Shuffle on the table. All you're going to do is put the deck down and take about half the deck and put it next to it. Have the two decks face each other, just like that. You can make sure they're nice and squared up. And here is how we do it. Okay, so you're going to take these two fingers over here and you're going to place them at the back of the first one. And on the other hand, you're going to take these two and place them at the back of this one. Okay, thumbs go on the other ends, and we're going to curl our index fingers on the back like that. All right, so the two fingers at the back, curl index in front, and thumbs on opposite sides. Okay, now what you want is you want your thumbs to be touching. That's how you know you're close enough, and you're going to lift them up and angle them upwards like this with your thumbs touching, and you're going to push down with your index fingers, causing the bend. And you're going to start with one hand. So in my case, I'm going to start with this right hand of mine over here. And I'm going to start riffling down. Okay? And while I do that, I'm going to start riffling down with the other hand. And that's the basics of how we do the Riffle Shuffle. So what you can do to practice is you can just use one deck on the table like this. Your two fingers at the back, your thumb on the other end, and your index finger on top. And you can just practice doing this. Once you're able to do that with the right hand, you try with the left hand or vice versa. All right, once you're able to do the two nice and easily, you pick them up, you bring your thumbs touching at an angle, and you riffle them together. Now, sometimes you might riffle them at the same time and they might get stuck like this, which is okay. You just keep practicing and you'll get the feel of it. You then just take your two hands like this, push inwards, and that's how we square the deck up. So that's just if you want to, shuffle for a card game, that's how you would do it. But now we want to learn how to do it in the hands and do the bridge so that we can look like a professional. Very similar with the two fingers at the one end and the thumb in the other end, and we're riffling down. But now instead of having the two fingers touching the back like this, we actually want them to be over the deck. So you can actually use the line on your fingers as a way to measure it. And what you're going to do is you're going to need to be able to riffle like that without the cards falling. So I'm catching it with my back fingers like this. Okay, so my fingers are wrapped around it, my index fingers down, my thumbs on top of it, and I'm riffling. But as I'm riffling, I'm catching it. So if I were to do it this way, I riffle down and I catch it. And of course, you need to be able to do the same with the other hand. So the fingers go over the deck like this. Okay, thumb down, and we riffle, and it's not touching the table. Right, so if I were to do it upwards, it would look like that. Then of course, we're gonna add the two together. Fingers over, curled in, index finger down. Now my index finger is not in the middle, it's actually towards the top, okay, on both sides. And I'm giving it a nice good bend. My thumbs are not going to be touching, but they're going to be nice and close together. Okay, so nice and close together, you'll get the feel of how close. And then of course you're going to riffle one hand and then the other hand. You can do it nice and slow. When you do it like this, be careful not to have it too angled up, because if you have it too angled up, what's going to happen is this. So you just need to angle it down just a little bit more, so it's a little bit more flat. Now you will end up doing this sometimes, which is okay. You'll get the feel of it. Just keep practicing until you get the distance between the two, right? And then you'll be able to riffle down like that. So if you do this, just know you need to angle it down a bit. And once you got it, just like that, then we are going to learn how to do the bridge. The bridge takes a lot of feel. It's not something I can obviously teach it, but you're going to have to just keep practicing. It's one of those things where practice is what will help you get this down to a T, because it's basically just getting used to the feel. We're in this position now with our thumb on top of the top, both of our thumbs on top of the top card, and our fingers are at the back of the bottom half, right? So we just caught it. Doesn't matter the technique, you can hold it anyway as long as you caught it in this position. What you're going to do is you're going to bend the cards inwards, okay, using this part of your hands. So let me just get back into that position. Okay, so this part of your hands over here is what's going to help you bend the cards. You'll see what I mean now. So once we completed the Riffle Shuffle, I push it into that part of my hand, all right? And my thumb is, both of my thumbs on top of whichever card is on top. So if it's on the left, in this case, or if it was to be on the right, both thumbs would be on that side, all right? You're going to bend inwards, and you're holding it at the back over here. So while you're bending, you're holding these two cards, because if you let go, they're going to fall in, they're going to collapse. So you don't want to let go, you want to hold those cards. So it's quite a lot to keep in mind at once. So both thumbs on top of the top card, bending in with that part of our hand, and holding the bottom cards from falling down, okay? And then what we do is we slowly let go with these hands over here, these fingers, sorry. And as we let go and open them up, the riffle happens, okay? So let me show you from this view. We riffle, we catch, we push, and I slowly let go with my bottom fingers, as you can see, and we let it do its thing. All right, and then it happens basically by itself. So, like I said, this takes a lot of feel. So every time you do it, this might happen, which is very common while practicing, and that's all good. It means you're on the right track. If you bend a little bit less, this might happen where it just falls in. So that means you let go too quickly. So you don't want to bend too much. You don't want to let go too quickly. You want to get used to the feel of letting go at the right time, holding enough pressure on the thumbs up top here, and letting it fall by itself. And you just do that over and over. You can do it different sides now. And just do it over and over until eventually it starts working by itself and you get used to it. And you can also do it upwards like that, even with one hand. Once you get used to how it works, you can just bring it in a little bit, and push it in, and you use these two fingers and your thumb, push down, index finger controls, and you let it fall. All right, so that's pretty much how to riffle shuffle like a pro. Let me know if you guys want more tutorials on cardistry, riffle shuffles, maybe the table riffle shuffle, some different types of cuts, some cardistry cuts. Let me know if you guys are interested in that, or if you're strictly mainly on this channel to learn magic, and if so, let me know so that I can, you know, keep just doing tutorials based on magic. I am busy filming a street magic compilation, but I will only release it once I hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys would be so kind to please click the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. And like I said, let me know what type of tutorials you guys want. Let me know if you're interested in this kind of stuff, or yeah, if you strictly want to learn magic. I do feel as though riffle shuffles are quite important for a magician to know while doing tricks. Especially when you get more advanced, there's different types of you know, false riffle shuffles which look really convincing, and of course you would need to know how to do the riffle shuffle first. So even as a magician, I think this is very important and a staple to learn. But of course there is more advanced cardistry techniques that I could go into if it's something you guys are interested in, but if not, just let me know. And please consider subscribing. I'm working really hard on a street magic compilation, and I would really like to reveal it. I'm not done filming. Like I said, I'm waiting to hit 1,000 subscribers before I really go all in on that video. So yeah, please consider subscribing and commenting. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one.